Welcome to the 10 best restaurants on Maui. When we did our trip, we researched everything like very extensively. We were checking all the Facebook groups, reviews, blogs, all the different like TV shows like Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and stuff where they feature unique restaurants. So we looked at everything. We went for 6 days, so we knew we were going to have enough time to visit about a dozen restaurants or so in that time to eat like for lunch and dinner, and then maybe like some snacks or something here and there. So these are the 10 best that we experienced during our trip. They're not in any particular order because what's best is kind of different for everybody depending on the type of experience you're looking for, budget that you're looking for. So I wasn't going to do like best being most expensive type of thing. So these are just 10 best in general, and I'll share what's good about them. So Paia Fish Market, they have 2 locations. Their deep fried calamari is this right here, and they look like mozzarella sticks, and these were just phenomenal. Best calamari I've had by far. And then my seafood pasta picture isn't loading. I'll have to fix that. Okay, and then next we have the seafood pasta. This was in like all of the Facebook groups. This was like the most recommended thing that I saw anywhere, and it is really great. I typically don't do seafood with pasta. I'll eat out all the seafood separately, but I shared all this with my husband. We had all of this, and this is very delicious. Highly recommend it. Tin Roof was probably our favorite for just like an everyday kind of food. This was the first place we went when we arrived after getting some groceries from Costco, and it was also the last place we ate before we left. So the fact that we had the whole island and ate at the same place twice says a lot. This garlic shrimp was so good. They serve it with white rice and cabbage. And then we also got a side of garlic noodles and the macaroni salad. And then when we went back the second time, we tried the steak, which is also served with rice and cabbage, and then got garlic noodles again, and then also tried the local root beer. You'll notice that we love garlic noodles. I don't think I had ever had garlic noodles before going to Maui, but we had them here at Tin Roof, and I was like, this is great. So every time it was like a side on a menu, I always added garlic noodles, and they are phenomenal. Down the Hatch, this is in Lahaina. They were actually featured on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives a few years ago. The lobster and crab grilled cheese is their main thing, and this had been very like viral before that because I think the Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives thing was after we had visited, so highly recommend this. Auntie Sandy's, this is along the road to Hana. If you go there, they are known for their banana bread. They sell out every single day, and it is nice and warm and delicious. Halfway to Hana is another food stand that is along that same route, not too far off. They also have the banana bread, but they also have all kinds of different smoothies, and they have shaved ice and different snacks. It's in a good little spot, literally halfway to Hana, so that it's a good just stopping point to get a little treat. And then once we were in Hana, we went to the food trucks for lunch. And this Thai kitchen food truck is really great. We had this coconut crusted mahi mahi, and it came with like rice, this little like veggie salad. And then we also went to the Hana Fresh food truck and got this mahi mahi sandwich and macaroni salad and potato salad. It's nice to be able to just have a variety of things all in one little lot. And they had picnic tables there, and it's all like really good quality food as well. It wasn't just like fried junk food, you know? So we really enjoyed that. Miso Fat Sushi, they have a location that we went to when we did the West Maui coastline driving tour. They were also featured on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and that was before we had ever gone, so they've been popular for a long time. I don't love adventurous sushi. I usually just get like California roll type things, but we each just got a roll. So my husband had the spicy tuna roll, and then I had the California roll, and these were really good sized as well. We had just come off of a chocolate tasting at a cacao farm, so we weren't like starving, or else we probably would have like tried a few more things, but definitely very high quality, very good portion size. Starred Noodle is along Front Street in Lahaina. Again, we got garlic noodles. The Hapa ramen bowl was very good, and the tempura shrimp, I kind of am iffy about it. My husband really enjoyed it, but I don't think I like the tempura like texture in general, so I don't think it had anything to do with them in particular. But yeah, garlic noodles were definitely a top choice, and then the ramen bowl was really nice. Since it was like a late night dinner, so it was good like cozy food as it like cooled off, you know? And then another thing you definitely want to get is some Dole Whip. So we went to the Lahaina ice cream parlor, which closed after the fires, but on Front Street there are still a variety of places where you can get ice cream, gelato, shaved ice. So I definitely recommend getting that at some point. We planned like an afternoon of just walking along Front Street and doing some window shopping. I bought a dress to wear to a luau later on our trip, and I got this little flower to put in my hair. It was like a little clip-in. So that's a good time to get either some sort of ice cream, gelato, or shaved ice. I recommend Dole Whip. Castaway Cafe, this is the last one on the list. So when we went here, it was actually for a luau. The resort that had booked our luau initially, we booked it for our anniversary. So we knew it was booked for February 6th, and the confirmation they sent us said February 6th. But then when we were walking around town, someone at like a visitor center type place was talking to us. And so we were like, oh yeah, we're going like tomorrow or later today. It was very last minute. And they're like, oh, I didn't know there were any. And we're like, well, yeah, here's the confirmation, and the letter that we got has that date, but then when you click into the specific tickets, it had a different date. So it was a whole fiasco because we knew the exact date because it was for our anniversary. So that there's no way that would have been messed up. So they got us in last minute at Castaway Cafe where they were doing a luau, which I actually really enjoyed more than like the whole big production. It was still a decent amount of people though, like the whole restaurant was still full. But here is what the restaurant looks like and the view. So it's kind of like an indoor outdoor kind of thing. The water's right here. And we had our drinks, macaroni salad, pulled pork, some kind of fish, I'm not sure, some chocolate cake. And we also had like rolls and salad, and like I just thought it'd be too many pictures to put every single thing. And all the luau pictures, because you can just go here as like a regular restaurant. You don't have to go here as a luau. So those were our top 10 favorite places that we ate at during our trip. And so now just some other fun activities to do while you're there. This right here links to a list of all the things that we recommend doing when you go to Maui. Top choice would be whale watching. And here's a photo from when we did ours. The chocolate tasting I mentioned, you do it up in a tree house, and it has really great views of the surrounding islands, so I definitely recommend that tour. Here's the photo. We use this photo for so much stuff. Luau's, again, like I mentioned, we went to Castaway Cafe, but here are some of the other popular luau's, and then also what to wear to a luau. And here's more of a photo from our luau experience. You can see that the restaurant is like really right there on the water. And then the road to Hana Drive, I highly recommend the full loop. Instead of just going to Hana and back, I recommend going all the way around. And I have all of the details in here, including timestamps about how long it takes. And here is the black sand beach from that drive. Haleakala National Park, going up to the summit for sunrise, is very popular. Ours was canceled because of the weather. I think it was snowing or something. We were there in February. And so we just did the self-guided audio driving tour, and we went more for like sunset time. And this is what it looked like when we went, when you're like above all the clouds. The West Maui Coastline driving tour I mentioned before, it's like doing the road to Hana, just on the other side of the island. And it has some really good secluded spots, and it was, yeah, just not so busy, but just as scenic. The Maui Mini Golf Park, this is in the same lot where the whale watching tours are. And so it's perfect for like if you want to do it like right before or right after with extra time. We did it before going back to the airport because our flight was one of those like 10 o'clock at night flights, so we had a full day. And then I also recommend a sunset dinner cruise during your trip. It's nice to just be like out and about, have a leisurely dinner, look for whales and dolphins. Here's a photo from ours. You can see some of the different colors as the sun sets. And then where to stay when you visit Maui, we recommend Kaanapali Beach Club. What's nice about it is that for essentially the same price as a standard hotel room, you're getting like a 1-bedroom apartment. So full kitchen, balcony with ocean views. The bathroom has a jacuzzi tub, and just having like separate bedroom and living spaces was really nice. This is the resort pool, this is the neighboring resort, and then obviously the ocean here. And then the last thing I'll add is that we do have a 6-day, 5-night itinerary with every single thing that we mentioned above, all the activities and all the different restaurants. There's more restaurants than just what we mentioned on here that are still good, just not, top 10. So if you want to check out that itinerary, this post here really has everything about Maui all in one place.